Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, lived a beautiful princess whose beauty was only rivaled by her incredible wealth. She had everything that could make another princess jealous. Rubies the size of pigeon eggs, garments woven from pure gold, and chariots like golden beetles that could fly through the air. But she was also kind and generous and wise beyond her years. And so, when she heard the pleas of her people, who wanted her to marry a handsome prince and bear an heir, she summoned all the eligible bachelors from across the land for a great contest. For she did not wish to marry a man simply because he was rich or powerful or well-born. She wished to find a man whose mind was as sharp as his wit and whose heart was as big as his biceps. And many brave princes came to compete for her hand in marriage. For 3 days they tested their strength, their stamina, and their intelligence. They raced chariots and wrestled bears, and even engaged in a massive snowball fight, which ended only when the princess ordered them to stop, because she didn't want anyone getting hurt. But on the 3rd night, while everyone was asleep, a strange sound awoke the princess. She put on a simple gown and went out into the courtyard, where she saw something that made her gasp in surprise. A magnificent dragon was circling above the castle, its scales shimmering in the moonlight like 1,000 tiny mirrors. The beast landed gracefully on the drawbridge and transformed into a handsome prince. With a slight wave of his magic wand, he opened a large chest at his feet and presented it to the princess. Inside was a beautiful golden crown, inlaid with rubies the color of fresh blood. "My lady," said the dragon prince, bowing before her, "I am here to claim your hand in marriage. My father is the mightiest dragon in the world, and he has sent me to win your heart." The princess stared back at him, speechless. She had never seen anyone so beautiful. His eyes burned like twin suns. His hair was the color of burnished copper, and though his skin was a deep emerald green, it glowed with an inner light that made him seem almost otherworldly. But when the dragon prince noticed the princess's stunned silence, he frowned. "Well," he asked, "will you marry me?" The princess blushed, suddenly shy. I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything," the dragon prince said, chuckling. "Just say yes, and we will be married by sundown." The princess hesitated, torn between her feelings for this mysterious stranger and her desire to do what was right by her people. Could she really marry a dragon? Would her subjects accept him as their king? What would her father say? Meanwhile, the dragon prince waited impatiently for his answer. He paced back and forth across the courtyard, his tail swishing from side to side, knocking over flower pots and sending birds fluttering into the air. Finally, the princess stepped forward and placed her hand on his arm. "Yes," she whispered, "I'll marry you." The dragon prince's face broke into a wide grin, revealing teeth that were just a little bit sharp and a little bit long. "Excellent," he said, taking her hand and kissing it. "I knew you would understand." He led her to the waiting chest and helped her put on the crown. Then they flew back to his father's lair in a chariot pulled by 6 great winged serpents. It was a long and winding journey, but the princess found herself enjoying it immensely. She marveled at the scenery, the soaring mountains and deep valleys, the sparkling rivers and endless fields of wildflowers. But most of all, she enjoyed the company of her new husband. He was everything she had dreamed of and more, strong and courageous, yet gentle and kind. And as the days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into months, the princess grew to love him more and more. She learned that he wasn't actually a dragon at all, but a shapeshifter who could transform himself into any creature he desired. And she discovered that his father wasn't the mightiest dragon in the world, but rather the wisest, for he had chosen her husband for her because he knew that she was the one person who could make him happy. And so they ruled the kingdom of the dragons together, the beautiful princess and her handsome dragon prince, and they were happy ever after. The end. Now, before we go, let's take a moment to figure out who was right. Was it the princess or the dragon prince when he said, "You don't have to say anything" during the proposal? In this story, both the princess and the dragon prince are right. The dragon prince is right because he doesn't want her to feel pressured to say yes. And the princess is right because she needs time to think about such an important decision. Ultimately, they both learn to compromise and understand each other's perspectives. This is an important lesson for us all in our relationships. We need to be able to communicate our needs and wants to our partners while also being understanding and empathetic towards theirs. Remember, a healthy relationship is a balance of give and take. Speaking of give and take, how about you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll give you a fun fact. Okay, here you go. Did you know that in some cultures, dragons are seen as symbols of good luck and prosperity? For example, in China, dragons are revered as one of the 4 symbols of Chinese culture and are often depicted as benevolent creatures that bring rain and good fortune. Now it's your turn to give me a fun fact about yourself in the comments below. And while you're at it, why not share a story about a time when you had to compromise in order to make someone else happy? We all have to make sacrifices in our relationships, but it's important to remember that it's all done out of love. So don't be afraid to open up and share your experiences with others. You never know who you might help. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this fairy tale, be sure to stay tuned for more magical adventures. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and remember that true love can conquer all, even the fiercest of dragons.